Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actors Show. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, that lady you just saw, that's Adilah Barnes. She's our first guest today, one of the few veteran actors in Hollywood who has not only mastered the art of successfully marketing herself, but also of utilizing all of the creative skills, all of the while staying true to herself and maintaining her integrity. For the 10th year, ladies and gentlemen, she has put together another annual empowerment weekend. So get your pen, your pencil, and a lot of paper to take notes for this marvelous mom's event. Ladies and gentlemen, Adilah Barnes. Adilah, good to see you,
Oh,
lady.
what a wonderful introduction,
You
Ron.
deserve it,
Thank
baby. You
you.
deserve
I'm
it.
going to
You are
make
the
you my
best.
manager, I think, or my publicist,
So you
my
got
personal
something
one.
going on here, huh? We call this the real truth. What's going on? Tell us about, in 100 words, what are you doing?
Okay, well, a lot's going on. So, first, I'll talk about the festival, then maybe I'll squeeze in a little bit about what I'm doing personally, if there's time.
This time,
But I do want to focus on the festival today because we have a couple of things that are coming up right away. So, this is actually going to be our 11th annual Empowerment Weekend. So, one more year we have under our notch here. And so that's going to take place August 23rd through the 25th. It will be on Zoom, which means that anybody can tune in from around the world. That's the beauty of doing events still on Zoom, is that during the time when we had the height of the pandemic, we were forced to go on Zoom. And in our case, we gained a lot of individuals who became a part of us from different parts of the world. So we still do some events online. That way, some of the people who are in other parts of the world can still feel like they're a part of us. And this is an example of that. So it'll be Empowerment Weekend. We'll kick it off on that Friday night, and that will be on August 23rd. We'll have an event where our participants are able to meet our board of directors, learn a little bit more about our organization, and moving forward where we're planning to go. So it's like a roundtable and interactive. And then on Saturday, we'll have workshops and panels. We'll start with one called Stories Imagined from Thought to Pen. That will be a workshop. Then we will have a panel, Mounting a Show with Your Dream Team. Then we will have a workshop, Get Moving, where people can get up and stretch, even though it's on Zoom. And then we'll have our lunch break. We'll have our dramaturgy. That comes up in the afternoon, heightening your written word. Archivist will be after that. That will be a panel. And the dramaturgy will actually be a workshop. And then we'll have another workshop, taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. It's so important for us as artists to take care of our entire instrument, spiritually and every other way. And then we'll have our raffle at the end of the day. Then on Sunday, we will have our mindful meditation to kick us off that morning, just to center ourselves. Then we'll do a panel, branding, giving a face to your show, then followed by a workshop on the road with a suitcase and a story. We'll have lunch. We'll have Get Moving Part 2, get those bodies moving again. Then we'll have Diversity and Inclusion, Theater for All. That's a panel. And we will conclude with our Empowered Women, taking the reins of your career, where the participants will be able to hear from women who are making a living by doing solo work and other work that they may do as well. Then we'll have our final raffle. We'll have a chat room where people can interact with each other. And that will be the weekend. And by then, we will all exhale.
Excellent. Can men come to this event?
Absolutely. Men can come to anything that we have, unless it's very specific. For example, we have another offering that will take place, and that will begin on September 16th through a grant from the city of Culver City, one of our very long time grantors for many, many years. And this will be an 8-week workshop, storytelling workshop for women who are residents of Culver City called Women's Voices. So, of course, you must be a female for that. But other than that, most of our events are totally open to women and men, unless specifically indicated, such
Okay.
as what I just said.
What about students going to school?
Students can come and they're able to, you mean as participants for the
Mhm.
Women's Voices? Yes. In fact, we're putting the word out to colleges, universities as well. Mhm.
Telephone number, there it is, Voices Workshop.
Okay.
Okay,
There
that's
you go. That's the
yeah.
workshop. That's the one that will be in Culver City. And it will conclude on November 9th
Okay.
with presentations open to the public. And I believe that will be free.
I got to ask this question. It might sound a little crazy, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What is the need that we have about empowerment? Why do we need it?
Well, I believe that everybody needs to feel that they matter and that they have power, that they have strength, they have a voice.
Mhm.
And given that, that for me, in a nutshell, has everything to do with Empowerment Weekend. So that women, in our case for this event, they're able to come and gain knowledge that will support them as solo artists, all the way from, creating a solo show. If you've got this thought in your head, but you haven't put it together, then creating a solo show is where you want to be to really find out what you need to get you going. And so, Empowerment Weekend to me, or just empowerment in general, really is about having a voice, giving permission to express that voice, and to really take advantage of what personal power you have. And we all have personal power, whether we know it or not.
There's a lot of things going on right now, particularly in the political area. Will you be talking about that?
Well, yes, there is a lot going on. And I think that the word empowerment really relates very specifically now to this campaign that's going on. Now that Kamala has become a candidate for president of the United States, we can see that people are beginning to feel their own personal power. They're feeling this joy that they're talking about. People are coming out in droves to each of the speaking engagements that she's having and with her candidate for vice president. It's amazing. 12,000, 15,000, had to get a hangar. I believe it was in Detroit. There were so many people. It's just amazing. So we're now, as a nation, beginning, I think, to exhale a little bit from all this madness that's been going on since 2016. We are now seeing the light again and new possibilities, taking us from the darkness, back into the light. So Kamala is really at the helm of that.
About this 2025 document that's running around.
That's amazing. I have not seen it. I haven't seen excerpts of it, but I've heard comments on different sections of it, and it's just really, it's unbelievable that they would even put that in writing, telling you what they are going to do if they get in office. They have no fear of telling you and showing you who they are. So, as Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe it.
Yes.
And that's what's happening now. So, even though our next festival is in 2025, we don't have anything to do with that 2025. It
Gotcha.
will be our 32nd annual festival.
What's the difference between this event versus the LA Women's Theater Festival?
Empowerment Weekend is a weekend of workshops and panels.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for individuals to gain knowledge. We see it as an educational offering, as opposed to our annual festival, which is a lineup of artists, all the way from actors, dancers, storytellers, performance artists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the annual festival is performance oriented. And we also give away awards to women every year during the festival. But
Okay.
Empowerment Weekend is an educational offering.
Do they get any kind of credit, college credit, any type of credit for taking this on?
Not really, but that's an interesting question because that may be something we'll consider for next year. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Okay. We got a couple of pictures of from in the back that went on a few years ago. Tony, can you go to number 11? Start at
One
number.
thing I want to add to that, Ron, is that we do have interns that sometimes do get college credit. So
Got
we
you.
do offer college credit. And I'll begin to think about what you just asked about. What about for Empowerment Weekend?
Got a few pictures. Who's that lady in that picture? Right there.
Oh, that's me.
Got you.
That's me.
Okay.
I don't
Next
know
one.
what was happening, but I was very joyful.
Yeah,
Speaking of
very
that word
enjoyable.
joy.
Next one, Tony. This is
Oh, those
always
are some of our past panelists that we've had. You can see that they're very engaged in whatever's going on in that moment. It looks like perhaps someone in the audience, one of the participants, may be asking a question or giving a comment, and they're listening and responding to the participants.
and people allowed to record this event?
Not really, because we also are we record ourselves and make available our events. So no, the answer is no.
Back to the pictures, Tony. There's a few more.
Here are more participants who are engaged, who are listening, who are taking notes, so that whatever it is that they're gaining, they can take it with them and make it useful as they continue to develop their works.
Next one, please.
There's one of our panelists. She's
Yes.
very engaged in whatever it is she's saying.
Yes.
And she's got plenty of water.
Yes, indeed.
And as hot as it's been, we all need to hydrate right now.
Yes, it has been hot. Next one, Tony. Oh, just a moment. Okay.
Dillmore, this is another location. This was outside. And so that was really nice that people were able to sit outside and have one of the offerings.
Got you. This looks like a lot of fun. Like you're gonna walk in there and learn something. That's the whole
Oh,
idea.
I guarantee you they're going to walk away knowing more than they did when they got there about the solo world.
Right. Now, who are some of the people that are teaching besides yourself? Who else are teaching the event?
Oh, we've got a number of people. Let me just look at my notes here and I will really be able to tell you that. We have first of all our board of directors that will be on that Friday night. And that includes people like Sky Palkowitz and Kat Kramer and Johnny Houston and more. And then we have other individuals who will be joining us. We have a woman, her name is Masa, and she's coming all the way from the Czech Republic in Europe as one of our participants. So you can see that by having it by Zoom, we can have participants from all over the world. So she's joining us from Europe. So it's very exciting. And a number of others who will be joining us as well from around the country, in addition to globally.
How many folks showed up last year?
You know what? I don't really know, but I will tell you that it probably was at least 50, if not more than that.
All right, so we're going to double it this year, right? Triple it.
That's our claim. That's our claim. The word is out.
Right, the word is out that you need education. You need it.
That's right.
I'll be writing this
That's
down.
Right. That's right. Yeah. And especially if individuals want to feel empowered by allowing themselves to create their own work. With my one-woman show, I Am That I Am Woman Black, yes. I have toured 40 states and 3 continents and purchased my home from my one-woman show. So speak of empowerment, it's very possible.
There's a lot of things going on in the technology, like artificial intelligence. A lot of people, AI, they're sick of that. Your thoughts?
Well, I really feel like with artificial intelligence, it can be used for good. However, we can see, especially in this campaign, that it's going to be used in ways that are not to our benefit and that are not of truth.
Yes.
And so we need to be mindful of that. For example, I heard that they had images saying, oh, Kamala didn't have that many people. That was AI. They took photos to make it look like she had that many people who were in the audience. Yeah. And it's just not true because we know that there were journalists there who said, I was there. No, those people were there. 12,000 people were really there. So AI can be used to manipulate, and we have to be very, very mindful of that. Using the voices. They had something, one of the ads that they said was Biden's voice, and it wasn't Biden. So they're taking clips of voices. It's just amazing. So AI can be used for good, but then it can also be used for other devious purposes.
Yes. I understand that in countries like China and other countries are using it, they're using it as well as they could. Wow.
Yeah, so we have to be mindful, really mindful. Do a check all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Fact check, fact check, fact check.
yes. I was going to say that the whole what you're doing, and we thank you very much for that. It's the attitude that people understand and that we live with, that we work with. You got to have a good attitude. You can't be worrying around. You can't do that.
That's right. That's right. And I think that's what's happening now. People are experiencing a kind of zen
Mm-hmm.
and excitement. And who is this? I forgot to turn my phone off.
That's okay.
It'll go off in a second. So this
Oh
is
yeah,
in
that's
real
okay.
time, folks. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you're saying
I'll try to remember next
that's
time.
okay.
So, I think people are now starting to exhale, feel good about our country, feel
Mm-hmm.
positive about the direction we're going. So it's a good time, I think, for America. We needed this.
Yes, we do. You tell one person in a 3 week event, you got a chance to get as much information as you can. I tell people as a broadcaster myself, as a teacher, former teacher, get out there and get some information. Things
That's right.
change all the time,
Knowledge is power.
right? I'm not going to knock hip hop, but I do realize that it did change a lot of things in our country. A lot of
Absolutely.
things do. It's not just them, but they do it.
Absolutely.
I see
So
politics.
change is one thing that's consistent.
Yes, yes. Now when I can just see it now, you're coming into the room. You're going to open up the session and take it from there.
Well, actually, I'm going to be in Georgia. So I won't even be here locally, but like I said, you can be anywhere in the world. So
Right.
that's the beauty. That is really the beauty.
Mhm.
And so we will see who joins us. And I'll be 3 hours later, but I'll be joining as much as I can.
Okay, I hear you. That Zoom system, a lot of people don't understand it. It is beautiful. It takes you all the
It
way.
is amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
before the pandemic, I had never even heard the word. When I
Mm-hmm.
first heard it, I said, "What is Zoom?"
Right.
And now, of course, everything is Zoom. So we'll
Right.
never go back to not having it.
Okay. How much does it cost for this session?
Okay, I think we have a special on now.
Okay.
So it's possible to get in for really all 3 days
Okay.
for like, I think $50. You can't beat that with a stick. And
Uh-huh.
that's in part because we are being underwritten by the city of Los Angeles.
Good. That's beautiful. Folks, I hope you
Can you
heard that.
still see me, Ron?
Oh,
I
yes, I
can't
see
see
you loud and
myself, but
clear.
you can see me. Okay, good.
Loud and clear.
Yay.
Looking WG, looking good. Double G.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes.
Oh, now I see myself.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
Technology.
Yes, technology.
Okay.
It's
So,
deal.
Ron, I'm really glad that you invited me. I just wanted to stick in one other thing
Please
real
go right ahead.
quickly. We've talked about Empowerment Weekend. We've talked about Women's Voices. It's taking place. We're receiving applications now for those who would like to be a part of our 8 week storytelling session that we have,
Mm-hmm.
underwritten by the city of Culver City. And we're also receiving submissions right now. So
Mm-hmm.
people can go to our website at www.lawtf.org. I know you're going to put it up on the screen.
Yes.
And I want to also just say that I just worked on a film
Ooh.
and called Love the Skin You're In. And Marla Gibbs is in the film. And Marla and I have known each other, oh my gosh, 30 years. I taught at her school when I first moved to Los Angeles, but it's the first time we ever acted together. So she had two scenes in the movie, both of which were with me, and we were supposed to be friends in the movie.
Yes.
And it was just a delight. Wendy Raquel Robinson is in it, Oba Babatunde's in it, and a past student of mine, Sauda Johnson, McNeil, she's the producer of it, writer of it, executive producer of it. And it was just amazing to reunite with her. Someone who
Mm-hmm.
had been a student of mine many years ago now was in a position to hire me. So look how things happen.
When they say the word veteran, you know exactly what you're talking about.
There
Been
you
there,
go.
been there,
There
done
you
it.
go.
Right.
There you go.
Right. You so
So look
cheesy.
for that. I don't
Hmm.
know when. I know they just finished, I think they finished post-production. So it's coming. But Marla put the word out. She was
Uh-huh.
on the Jennifer Hudson show. And bless her heart, she mentioned me by name as one of the actors in the film. So I really was very, very touched by that and thanked her for it. She didn't have to give me the props, but
And you
she
know I
did.
got to say something about you. See what's behind me? Those are people who got stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and that I was able to do. We'd like to get you on that place, please.
Oh,
Let me see you.
excellent.
Oh, look at that.
Excellent.
Yeah. See me
Well,
on
I'm all
the
in for that.
yes, indeed. See me on the backside, as they call. We'll get you
There
there.
you go. There you go.
You know, we have a few moments. There's other things again, costs that we say, do this, do that. But on a round table, what are you intended to get out of this?
You mean on that Friday night where we
Yes,
have the board of directors, the advisory board?
yes.
It's an opportunity for participants to get a behind the scenes kind of
Hmm.
look at who the people are who do the work
Hmm.
and the governing body and our past, our present, where we're planning to go with the organization, and
Hmm.
to be able to input whatever it is that they would like to say based on what they hear. So it's going to be interactive with our participants.
But again, that's one of the things about industry. You see them; they're always sending their people to all these different organizations and meetings like this, so you can get to gain and get up, get up, get up, get up, and move on up.
That's right.
Boy,
That's right.
it's a lot of addiction out there. Things are happening out there. Things are really
Things are really, really happening.
right.
And for those who are writing, creating a solo show, just one more plug on my end.
Plug.
I do have my Writers Well in Georgia,
Uh-huh.
writerswellga.com. So if there are those who are interested in coming to have a quiet, peaceful, serene, lush, very green environment, I welcome them to join us in Georgia. And we've had guests from all over the country, from Ghana, Puerto Rico. So that's available for those who wish to develop a show
Yes.
in the spirit of what we're talking about
Hmm.
regarding Empowerment Weekend.
It's amazing how the world has gotten smaller. It was at one time there was no Google, but now it's beautiful. So many things.
Oh, at our fingertips.
That's it, right here, right here, right there.
Literally.
Literally,
Literally.
literally. Yes. Anything else you want
Absolutely.
to tell us?
Well, I think we've touched on the most important things in terms of what's coming up with the festival: Empowerment Weekend, Women's Voices, the 32nd
Location?
Annual
Did we talk about the
Festival.
location?
And we know that Empowerment Weekend is going to be virtual. So all they got to do is come to Zoom in the comfort of their own homes. And then for Women's Voices, our final presentation will be at the Veterans Memorial in
Yeah.
Culver City. That'll be on November 9th. And for submissions, we don't know yet where we're going to be. We're now looking at venues to see where we want to be for our 32nd annual festival.
Uh-huh.
That will be held the last weekend in March of
Right.
2025.
This may sound like kind of crazy, but I'm gonna have to ask you this: what do you get out of what you do?
You know what?
Yeah.
It's the joy of knowing that
Hmm.
in some way, in some small way, that I personally have been a part of the lives of all these women who have these incredible shows.
Yes.
So I'm the last day to day co-founder. There were seven of us.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean that they're not a part of us. Some have moved to other cities, one's
Yes.
in Oregon, one's in New York, and some have gone on to, one's in Utah. So they're in different places, but we have come together for years that have been monumental years, like the 25th, 30th, and 20th. And so they're still very much a part of us. And one of the co founders, Miriam Reed, she's constantly sending me a note saying, rah, rah,
Here
keep
you go.
doing it. You kept us alive, because she's actually in Oregon. So it's the joy of knowing that I have been a part in some small way of
Hmm.
offering a vehicle for women to tell their stories.
Tony, would you
That's one of the satisfactions.
got you. Tony, can you give us number 16, which shows the nice passage that they've got on the poster board? This one I saw that. Ooh, that's a good one. Put that up, see what that looks like. But it's exactly give people an opportunity to know where to go when to go, how to get there. Well, I won't tell you to do that, but
If they come to our website, everything should be available to them. They can
mm-hmm.
also call us at 818-760-0408. They can come to our email address, info@lawtf.org. So
Okay.
there are several ways they can get to us. We'd love to have everybody involved who wants to be, and we always have a need for volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's one of our images. Good. That's one of our images. I was hoping you had that one.
Yeah, yes.
So that one, that's a banner for this
Mm-hmm.
year's 11th annual Empowerment Weekend.
Yes. Mm.
Excellent, excellent.
Keyword empowerment. In your feet, you gotta love that.
Empowerment, empowerment.
Yes.
And we all deserve it. We all need it.
Mm-hmm.
And many of us use it. So
But if
we're
you don't use it,
supporting artists to be able to use it even more.
mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. I'm looking at these kids coming out of school right now with education. I was over there by USC over the weekend. Just marvelous things are going on. These kids
Oh,
are
yes.
learning.
And USC is a good school. In
Yes.
fact, we have a couple of interns who are with us now from USC. We've had
Hey,
a number of interns from USC.
hey.
USC, UCLA, Loyola, Marymount. I
Ah,
mean, the list goes on. So we've been very
mhm.
blessed
Yes.
over our 31 years to have some incredible college students.
Because you know that when you go to college, then you try to get a job, and you get a job, they're going to send you to schools. You know, you went to college and you learned something here. That's nice. Now we do it our way. We show you that. Oh,
And it's the real world.
and thank
Once
you.
they're out, they're
Thank
now
you.
in the real world.
Yes.
And we hire some of our interns
Mm-hmm.
that start out as unpaid interns.
Mm-hmm.
Some actually become paid staff members.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
It really is amazing.
Yes. Um, we're going to go, Tony, we're just going to go ahead. And lady, I want to thank you so much. Again, that address and telephone number. Um, can you let me know that one more time, please?
Yes. So if people want to contact us by email,
Yes.
they can go to info@lawtf.org. If they want to reach us by, oh, I can't believe this phone. If they want to reach us, if they want to reach us by website, they can come to lawtf.org.
Okay.
And if they want to telephone us, they can reach us at 818-760-0408. We have our background music. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very popular this morning, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or somebody needs something.
Probably the latter before the former.
Probably the latter.
Yeah, other than that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, folks, did you get what was given out today? And if not, please call Adelia Mar. Call in, folks. Sign up for the 11th annual Empowerment Weekend. Okay.
We'd
Okay.
love to have people come out and gain that knowledge that all of
Right.
our presenters are going to be sharing.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, again, thank you once again for your through your publicist, my man, Philip Sokolov.
Yes,
That guy
yes,
gets out
yes.
and does it. Yeah, he gets it right.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, thank you so very, very much, and God bless
Thank you, Ron.
you. Okay.
Until the next time. And
Until
thank
the
you,
next time.
Tony, as our technician. You're wonderful.
We tried. We tried.
You're blessed to have him.
And like I said, let's
Okay.
get in touch with us. We get those one of yours up on that wall. Love to see
Okay.
it.
All right. Talk to you later. Enjoy your
Yeah.
miracles
Okay.
today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to let you know we are asking for the Actors Choice Squad, and I believe someone's trying to call me on the phone. You need to call the gentleman right away as soon as you can, so we can get you on the air. That's the gentleman that's coming on the air right now. Okay, I'm on the air myself because I can't really get into it with him. Okay, call that address that you get, take it from there. Okay, we all would like to let you know that we're asking all of the Actors Choice Squad to help us get former baseball player Kurt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Kurt passed away January 1997, was the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress Judy Pace. And all you got to do is go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/the Actors Choice, and or you can call 213 349 3941. Okay. So we're sincerely thank you and everyone for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay. let's go ahead and move it forward, sir, if you will, and we'll take it from there. I'll work. Okay. The gentleman that we have right now is next fella. If you could roll it, Tony.
You're not the only one with a story about that place, you know. We just can't find anyone to stick around long enough to help us understand. They all seem to just disappear, like your friends. Gone. We didn't find anything to substantiate your story.
It all happened just the way I said.
Okay, this is the third guess. Okay, can you go to the second guess for a second? It's the third guess. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen,
The sunflower has a very special meaning for me. While marching back from work detail to Mauthausen one day, we passed a German cemetery, and every grave was planted a sunflower. Hundreds of them. How lucky they all were to be remembered. We would be thrown into a pit.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. Yeah. Okay. He had a playhouse that he got involved in, and he's been the winner of 3 Los Angeles Ovation Award nominations for his work, and received the 2011 Los Angeles Drama Critics Circle Award for Best Solo Performance. All you can say in this business when you do work like that, looking good, looking good. There he is. There he is. He does a lot of different, like we showed you, one of the plays that he did, Simon Wiesenthal, one-man play. Being a one-man is interesting because when you have one man, you're in there by yourself, and you got to remember everything. And that's the way it is. So, but he's a pro. He does it all the time. He also did another one called Robert E. Lee. This is Shades of Grey. He was another one man. He did that 11 years ago, and he's still doing it. So, Tom, you can say to you, keep on doing what you're doing. If you would be so kind, Tony, to put up number 35, if you would. That shows you a little bit about him, some of the background that he had. Oh, yeah, there you go. There it is. Thunder Run, 1985. Tom did play the role of Wolf. He was a director under Gary Hudson, and it was his first IMDb. You know, we tell people, yeah, you want to be there, but somebody, you got to start from the beginning and work your way up, right? Next one, number 36, Tony. And he did something there. One of the shows that he was doing was Tell Him It's Jackie, a new play that he did. At that time, it was April 11th to May 31st. And it was a good run, I'm told. So a lot of people enjoyed it. Next one, sir. Irish Goodbye. That was another play that he's done. He did that run for 3 weeks. And during that 3-week time, a lot of people came in, sat down, saw it, enjoyed it, talked about it. That's what it's all about. For those of you, how many of you like to go to plays? Raise your hand. I can't see you, but you can see me. My hand goes up. I like to go to plays. I like to go to theater too. I saw a cartoon the other day. But people like to go to plays where you can just reach out and touch the people on stage. But you can get, as they say, Shakespearean people, to be or not to be. Don't you like that, Tony, when you hear that? He likes that. Tony likes to hear that. But it's just one of the things that we have to get along with. People enjoy what they're doing. Now, here's a unique thing. Can you go to number 38, please, sir? You see this right here, folks? This is a playhouse. That's his house. And he turns his house, Dugan, into a playhouse. Now, that is fine. That is really, really fine. Can you do it like green more? It's not green, just go. But the fun that people who are in this business, who love this business, like Tom does, you just work with it. You do the best that you can do. You let people enjoy them. People walk away. They pay that money, and to see plays, to see the people. We get people who they do television and film. They do that, but they like to do plays. And I have this bone that I pick with them. I say to them, "Oh, come on, folks. You got film, you got TV. How come you won't get up on stage? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You project, you memorize the words, and you get down there and you does it. I mean, oh, that do it wrong. Do it. That's what you do. That's what you want to do. So you have some fun. Okay. Uh, he had, let me show you one more thing. We got a video on him, 39A. Tony, okay, there's the drummer ringer right there. But prior to that, there's a video that he's got. Yeah, that's good. That's part of the people there. Yeah, there's Tom on the left there, and another gentleman. I'm not. There he is. There he is.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, young man.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We've conquered
I was sitting in for you. I was talking about you. Tony, can you show him that last, the video for just a second, please? Video. This is 36 seconds. Tell us, Tom, what it is that you saw.
Well, that was a promo for my first historical one-person show called Robert E. Lee Shades of Gray.
Yes.
And it premiered at the Carpenter Center in Richmond, Virginia in 2004. I toured the country with that for about 10 years.
Woo, my goodness.
And it was directed by Mel Johnson Jr., a dear friend of mine.
Wow. We were just talking about something. Tony, can you go to number 38 again? This is Tom's. I was talking about your backyard. Look at that. Tell us about that, please.
Well, during COVID, every theater in the United States was closed. And so I, like many others, began to go kind of batty. But just before COVID happened, I was revamping a script that I had written about Jackie Kennedy. And I was still kind of getting it right. And then I think I felt pretty good about the script. And I saw an actress online who was a member of a theater company in town here. And I said, I went to see her in a play. It was like one of the last performances before COVID shut down everything. And I said, hey, you want to work on this? And she said, yeah, sure. So we worked like this on Zoom. And I taught her the dialect, and I helped her with an impersonation of Jackie Kennedy. And then we started rehearsing at great distance at a theater. And she caught fire.
Yes.
And I wanted to share her performance in my play with anybody who would listen, because I was very proud of it. And so I got the idea to get a couple of folding chairs in my backyard and create a set of sorts and see if anyone would show up. And that was 4 years ago. We've had dozens and dozens of performances of six different plays.
Right.
During COVID, nobody had anything to do. So I even had the Los Angeles Times critic come to see one of my shows, review it, and he sat on the diving board.
Oh gosh, the things that people do. What's in your mind? Because you do it all the time. What's the difference between writing a one-man play and a multi-character story? What's the difference?
A one-man play is much more difficult than a multi-character story, as far as I'm concerned, because the amount of research that goes into a historical one-person play is enormous. It's between 1 and 2 years of research before I even start writing anything. With a multi-character piece, which is pure, fantasy out of my own imagination, I can just start writing immediately. And so I've written 6 historical one-person plays, and thank you. And I got to say, I'm having fun writing the multi-character plays, because you get right to the dessert without having to eat your vegetables.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you remember the first time you stepped up on a stage?
Yeah, I guess so. I played Miles Standish in the Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving play, and the teacher said, "Okay, say this line," and she made it up, and it was probably about 3 paragraphs long. And I said, what? So they took away all my lines and they gave it to somebody else. And I just stood there as Miles Standish. So memorizing lines, ironically, has never been my strong suit.
You can fool me. I think differently. You can fool me. Wow,
Yeah.
goodness. That play that you were in, The Irish Goodbye.
Yeah, I wrote it, I directed it, but I wasn't in it. Uh, I wrote a play 2 or 3 years ago called Cemetery Pub.
Yes.
It's my first dark comedy, 3 characters. I was in that one. And because I'm a storyteller and I'm an actor, part of the actor's job is to fill in all the backstory of what brought your character to this stage.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty thorough about that. I think that's one of the reasons I've been successful on stage is because I really do an awful lot of thinking about the backstory. And so I did that while I was writing Cemetery Pub, and I realized that the backstory that I had come up with, Cemetery Pub takes place in the year 2000. This Irish Goodbye is the prequel. It takes place in 1983. Same location, same family, but totally different story. It was kind of an easy thing to write. Nothing's really easy, but it was easy because I had in my imagination created the backstory for Cemetery Pub so clearly that it was kind of like when I wrote it, like the meat falls off the bone.
Yes.
If it's cooked enough.
Good. What do you like to do the most? Write a script or play the script or both?
I guess, writing it and playing it myself is the most satisfying because I get to, hit all the bases.
But then when you write a play and you're sitting in the set back there, you're sitting with everybody else, the audience, and they're playing your play. They're doing what you wrote.
Yeah, yeah. And oftentimes it's hidden within the script, but it's exceedingly personal stuff that I put in this play. And that's one of the great things about playwriting and writing fiction is that you don't have to own anything. You can just say, oh, I just made that up. But certain parts are right out of my life. And particularly with Irish Goodbye, it was heart-wrenching because the actress just knocked it out of the park, and it's very, very emotional towards the end. And I sit in the dark, and I get kind of overwhelmed, and the audience does too, and that's a very good sign.
You keep one of these with you, right?
Oh, many.
You never know. You never know. Mr. Dugan, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman has been dubbed by critics as, quote, a national treasure. Amen, amen, amen. How's that feel?
It was pretty nice. That was a newspaper in Florida when I was touring with my play Wiesenthal.
Yes.
And I've gotten some pretty terrific reviews, many, many. But that quote really stood out. A reviewer likes you when they think of a really great quote because they know that you're going to grab a quote. And so, boy, did she hand me a wonderful quote that I've been, touting ever since.
Amazing. I see that back to a one-person play that is meticulously researched. Tell us about that.
Well, let's see, the first one I wrote was about Robert E. Lee. You showed that. And I knew some about the Civil War, but I didn't know anywhere near to speak with authority. And so I went, well, first of all, I just started reading books and the best sellers and the most acclaimed Civil War books. And then I started going around to museums. I went to the Museum of the Confederacy in Richmond, Virginia, and there were 6 other museums that I went to in order just to speak with scholars and show them what I had written and ask, hey, does this hold water? And many times they say, no, it does not hold water because this didn't happen then, it happened then. and this and swap that out. And no scholar is perfect either. So what I would do when I would ask the same questions of three different scholars, and if they all agreed on something, then I felt very good about putting it in the script. And that way, you know, you can't be challenged. I mean, that the worst thing in the world is to put a play up and then someone just say, "What? That's wrong." And thankfully that hasn't happened. I mean, people try to say it, but I'll talk to them afterwards and I'll explain, blah, 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 blah. And they'll go, oh, okay.
Have you been on Tony? Have you ever received a Tony?
No, I wish I
What are they
was
waiting
not.
on?
What?
No Tony? They have never given you a Tony?
No, not yet. Not yet. But the closest I came, most one-person shows are uh, when they go to New York, the highest a one-person show, unless you're Tom Hanks or somebody, the best you can get is a really first-class off-Broadway production. Yeah, let me tell you, that was fancy. Wiesenthal made it to the first-class production in New York, and I was nominated. And the highest awards you can get for that is the Outer Critics Circle and the Drama Desk Award. Well, then there's the Drama Desk Award. And I was nominated for both of them. So I didn't win those, but I was on. They broadcast the play on PBS for about a half a year throughout the Eastern Seaboard, so that was pretty good.
Wow, I'm just sitting there numb because I didn't realize I just learned something. I just learned something. I mean, I was born and raised in New York City, to go downtown, see plays, blah 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 blah, but didn't realize that it's not the way you think it is, at least for that.
No, it's the when it comes to Broadway and off Broadway, it's based on the amount of seats in the theater. I believe it's up to 399 seats. That is off Broadway, and more than that is Broadway.
Okay, that's the
And
measure.
musicals often get the lion's share of all of the ticket sales, and so they keep the one person show smaller so that they can you don't want to put a show like that in a 1,500 seat theater in New York, because it's going to be tough to sell because there's a lot of competition. I have played theaters throughout the country. The biggest crowd I've played is 2,100 people at one shot. I felt like a rock star.
Did you sign the books and everything as you went out?
Oh yeah, I did. They were
Yes.
very, very enthusiastic.
We got a few more minutes, Tom. I'd like to ask you a question. Artificial intelligence, your thoughts, sir?
So far, I have found it to be valuable in one sense. It's not valuable creatively, but if one of the most difficult things for a playwright to do is to create a synopsis of their own work, because you've got 90 minutes or 85 minutes of your work, and how do you boil that down into a paragraph? So I'd write something, plug it into AI, and they'd arrange it in a way that I never would have thought that.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a thesaurus for sentences or paragraphs. So I find it to be a valuable thing, but understanding the limitations of it, because it's the most common denominator stuff. It's not going to be anything unique you find on AI. They're not going to come up with any brilliant ideas. They're just going to, it winds up simplifying things and maybe, dumbing them down a little bit.
Oh, my goodness, the things you learn. We were talking about that on the guest before, and it's that AI is all over the world, China and all different places. People are using it, misusing it, doing all kind of things, and it's sad to see that. But people are doing it. They are doing it, and things.
But I don't think that anything. If you write something through AI and you put it on stage, I don't think the audience is gonna respond to it at all.
Wow. That's shameful. That is shameful. Oh well, what you gonna do? We got time for one quick question, sir. What's your next play?
My next play is called Hank and Otto. It's a two-person dark comedy.
Yes.
And it's the third in the trilogy, what I call the New Jersey trilogy: Cemetery Pub, Irish Goodbye, and now Hank and Otto. They all take place in O'Brien's Tavern
Yes.
across the train tracks from St. Gertrude's Catholic Cemetery somewhere in New Jersey.
I'm glad we caught you. When you get a chance, I'll send you a copy of what we did today, and you'll see I stood in for you for a little bit. So I didn't. Hey, yo, I'm Tom Gruden. You leave me alone.
Well, I'm glad we conquered. I conquered the technical problems this time better than last time.
Don't even think about it. You're here, and glad to see you. And as I tell you, we'll call you back again. You know, we're always gonna
Terrific, terrific. Thank you so much for having me, Ron.
And one more thing before we leave: break a leg.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's it.
Back at you, and whatever you're doing.
Thank you. I'll call you up and talk about it.
Okay.
Thank our sponsors, Harry Ranford, Photography is an Art. Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight. Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's actor training facility and Actor Space. Much thanks to our guest today, actress, producer, author, my dear friend, Adilah Barnes. Actor, playwright, Tom Diggin. You just saw him just a few moments ago. The Actor's Choice is a presentation of B&B Productions with Rudolph Brewington as the president and Sidney Chandler as our executive producer. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. We mean that sincerely. This show we've been doing this for 6 years, by the way. And this is about our 419th show. And it's because of what you guys do to us and for us, we would never have gotten this way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Ron Brewington. I'm your host. Be well. We'll see you next time. Take care.